I'm Tammy Epp, longtime member of Osteostrong, certified session coach, and director of training at Osteostrong. I'm excited to be able to share with you about what Osteostrong is and how it can work to meet your needs. But first, we need to understand what Osteostrong is not. We are not a gym, diet, supplement, pharmaceutical, or medical treatment. What we are is a unique system for developing your skeletal strength, a unique place where you can go to improve your overall health by focusing in on the one thing that we all have in common, our skeletal system. The foundation of each and every one of us, the skeletal system, is arguably one of the most critical systems in the human body. But it provides more than just strength and protection. By implementing a strategy that cares for and strengthens our skeletal system, we can experience life-changing results. Improved bone density, enhanced posture, better balance, improved athletic performance, and less joint and back pain. Osteostrong uses osteogenic loading to promote skeletal strength and, in turn, positively impact the body in a variety of ways. In fact, here are some of the ways that we are helping our members at Osteostrong. We're helping them strengthen their bones, strengthen their muscles, improve their quickness, speed, and power. We help promote better balance and agility in the body. It helps decrease joint and back pain. It improves the integrity of the joints and ligaments. It promotes better mind and body connectivity and supports alignment. We have over 100 centers currently open with several more ready to open. With that many centers, we hear thousands of member testimonies. Here are just a few. In order to understand how Osteostrong works, we need to understand how the aging process works. It's probably no surprise to you that the inside of the body is always changing. From birth to about the age of 25, we're constantly growing stronger. But at the age of 30, we plateau in growth and the aging process takes over. The bones become more porous. And since the brain will never allow your muscles to be stronger than your bones, the muscles also become weaker. Look here. This is a picture of a 30-year-old bone. Here is the same bone at the age of 50. Can you tell the difference? See how this one is less dense, it's weaker, or easier to fracture? When the bones get weak, the muscles also get weak. Here's a list of some of the aging-related issues that we can all probably identify with. Joint pain, slower reaction and recovery time, weak muscles, loss of flexibility, loss of balance, and poor posture. Now, this isn't just happening to you, this is happening to everyone who doesn't trigger growth after the age of 30. It is absolutely essential that we do something to not just slow the process or even stop the process, but to do something to trigger growth again. Would you like to know how we do that at Osteostrong? Well, have you ever heard of the term adaptive response? No, not many people talk about it, but we all know that we have it. Your brain is your command center. It is designed to protect you. It helps your body adapt and respond to your environment. For example, when you spend time out in the heat, your brain adapts and responds to the environment by triggering sweat. And this sweat helps cool you and protect you. Another example is the opposite. When you spend time out in the extreme cold, your brain adapts and responds to that environment by triggering shivers. These small contractions in the body keep you warm and protect you from freezing. These adaptive response triggers, and they can be triggered. See, even light triggers the pupil to contract, and darkness triggers the pupil to dilate. See, your body has hundreds of these responses that are triggered by our environment. Your bones and your muscles are no different. They can be triggered. They can be triggered to go stronger by putting them under pressure. Based on science from the 1800s, called Wolff's Law, it's a well-known fact that bone and muscle adapt and respond to heavy loading and impact force. We know this We know that heavy loading and impact force is necessary to trigger bone and muscle growth, but how much force and how much loading is necessary? Based on a study that was done in 2012 with over 2,000 individuals, they found that the adaptive response is only triggered if you put 4.2 times your body weight on your bones. So let's say this is your bone. This is your femur here. If you were to put 4.2 times your body weight of pressure from end to end of this bone, you will trigger osteogenesis. Oh, 4.2 times my body weight sounds like an awful lot. That's because it is. This is precisely why most people don't do it. Until Osteostrong came around, there hasn't really been a safe way to load the body with this much force without hurting ourselves. So let's talk a little bit about your muscles. We help you build strength just a little bit differently here at Osteostrong. It's very unique. We know that you were born with an absolute amount of muscle cells. There's no way that you can change the number of muscle cells that you have. What we know also through science is that we can, in fact, increase the amount of contractual properties within each muscle cell. Now, these contractual properties are called myofibrils, and by adding more of these myofibrils to your cell, that's how you increase your strength. This doesn't take a bunch of repetitions and sets at the gym. It simply takes triggering the adaptive response once and letting the body do its job. When the brain is told that it must make the body stronger to meet the demands of the environment, it will. And we do that here at Osteostrong. Here are just a few of the benefits of myofibril development. It'll help you increase your strength, it will support your metabolic system, and it helps improve your blood glucose response. So based on what I've shared with you today, we know that you must begin to trigger growth in your body as soon as possible. And you can do it a couple ways. You can do it conventionally by powerlifting or gymnastics. Remember, however, that you must powerlift 4.2 times your body weight. Or you can stick the landing, so jumping off of a 4-foot beam and landing hard, that would emulate enough impact through your bones to trigger osteogenesis. These may be the only options outside of Osteostrong that you have to emulate this kind of force that it takes to trigger the growth response in the body. Does this sound like a good way to get injured? I think so. Even gymnasts, the strongest muscular skeletal body in athletics, they retire at an average age of 19. It's not because they're getting older or too weak or they don't love their sport. It's simply because the high impact force of gymnastics is so hard on the joints. Osteostrong is absolutely remarkable because it allows people of just about any age or fitness level to experience the benefits of high impact forces on the body, but in a much safer and controlled way. Our certified session coaches will always be with you to put you in the strongest position to be able to emulate the maximum amount of force comfortably and safely for your body. You'll see immediate bio response from each piece of equipment, so you know how much force you're putting on your body at a time. It takes 0 time to recover. It's safe for your joints. It's quick and convenient. It only takes about 15 minutes, 1 time a week. It's sweat-free and pain-free. The key to building skeletal strength has been known for more than 125 years. With Osteostrong, this secret is being applied to the human body for the very first time. Thank you so much for taking time to learn more about Osteostrong and what we can do for you.
This is the first movement in all 4 movements of Spectrum. This is the upper growth trigger. So it's for the upper extremities. So the individual sits in a seat and places their hand on the handles, which are adjusted so that there's a 120-degree angle from upper to lower arm. But their elbows in the back of their hand and their clavicle are all in one line. So the bone right here, this is the clavicle. So one flat line, and then they push forward, create compressive force through all the small bones in the wrist, all the way through the kinetic chain to the sternum. And through that compression, they create the greatest force possible through the 5-second movement. After they do the compressive movements for 5 seconds, there's a number that's captured at the bottom of the screen. They hit save, it saves to the report to the server, and then they're ready to move on to the next movement. So this is the second movement. This is the lower growth trigger, so lower extremities. So individuals sit in the seat and they put the knee at a 120-degree angle, which is how we normally absorb high impact force. And so in that isolated position, they self-impose force, compress the bone. Now, this one is unique to all the other ones because we have a minimum growth trigger, which is based on clinical research to show what it takes to trigger bone growth at the minimum. So the minimum dose response, and there's a lot of research about that. That is the basis for a lot of what we're doing here, but that's 4.2 multiples of body weight. So that's why we ask the individuals when they sign up, what's your body weight? That's really important for this calculation. And then we also have the rapid growth trigger, which is seen on the rest of the devices. So they sit in the seat for, the device captures the top 5 seconds, the best 5 seconds of their compressive force they create. They hit the save button and then they're ready to move on to the next movement. This is the core growth trigger. It's the third movement in the series. And what people do is they grab a hold right here, tuck their legs underneath, and they're using their core to engage. So moving, a lot of people don't know what their abdominals are really for. It's moving the pelvis and the rib cage together. Now you're also engaging some of the upper body because you're grabbing a hold of this bar and pulling down, but basically going into a fetal position. Everything with Spectrum is to emulate high impact forces. When an impact is coming into your core, that's the position you take. You kind of tuck into a fetal position, so that's what we're emulating here. So this is the postural growth trigger. This is the last movement of the 4. The objective is to emulate high impact through the whole body, specifically the spine. So when somebody jumps and lands, their shoulders move back and their knees come forward. So weight backward, weight forward so you stay balanced. And that does some loading of the spine, very high loading of the spine. So what we do is that there's 2 cues. One is to get the bar in line with the fingertips. So just my fingertips are going over so I can drop down, grab a hold of the bar. Now we move the shoulders into an exaggerated good posture. This actually rewires the firing of the muscles to move the shoulders back and improves posture over time, week after week after doing this. So the individual grabs a hold of the bar and then creates upward force for 5 seconds. After that load is captured, you hit save and then the session is complete.